Samsung was recognized for delivering hundreds of features in its devices. However, during the last several years, it has deleted functionality from its smartphones. This goes from eliminating the IR blaster to included chargers and lately degrading the S Pen. So some Samsung fans thought that the firm could discontinue supplying the S Pen in its future phones, but Samsung insists the pen is here to stay. In an interview with TechRadar, Annika Bison, VP of Product and Marketing at Mobile Experience, MX UK, said, "Multimodal is really important to us. So that's how people use their phone, whether they're conversing, whether they're writing, whether they're in a meeting. People do utilize their S Pens in meetings to make notes. So I don't envision a situation where the S Pen is not a crucial element of our offering." She also said, "And honestly, when you look at the Ultra, it's something people genuinely come back to us around. They ask us, would it have a S Pen? And that goes back to the Note days. We consider the S Pen as something that is important to the Ultra experience at this point." This obviously reveals that Samsung doesn't have plans to eliminate the S Pen from its future smartphones and tablets. At least not in the foreseeable future. So it looks like the Galaxy S26 Ultra, which will be unveiled early next year, will include a built-in S Pen. When TechRadar questioned about the relevance of the S Pen following the launch of AI-powered sketching, and whether the capabilities supplied by the S Pen aren't as distinctive anymore, Annika Bison stated, "Creativity is one of our core values. If you're creative, you want to be able to draw and sketch things. And with draw to image being one of our AI capabilities, you can draw wonderfully with the S Pen. It's got quite a huge design edge." Samsung's newest non-foldable flagship phones, the Galaxy S25, Galaxy S25 Plus, and Galaxy S25 Ultra, employ Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Elite processor. People are quite glad that the tech giant decided with it rather than the in-house designed Exynos 2500. That's because in the past, Exynos processors have traditionally performed worse than those from Qualcomm, resulting in poorer performance, worse battery life, and overheating. However, the key motivation for Samsung to go with Qualcomm was not performance. The brand picked the Snapdragon 8 Elite since it was unable to build Exynos 2500 commercially owing to the poor yield rate of the 3nm manufacturing process, on which the SoC is based. Well, as it turns out, Samsung is now seeking to tackle not only Exynos performance concerns, but also the yield rate of the 2nm production process with its forthcoming SoC for mobile devices, the Exynos 2600. It will let Samsung to utilize it for the Galaxy S26 series over the Snapdragon 8 Elite 2, which would return the brand higher earnings. Samsung sets up task group to optimize Exynos 2600 and 2nm process. According to a new report from Korea's FN News, Samsung has set up a task force to improve the performance of the Exynos 2600 chipset, so that it compete fiercely with the offerings from Qualcomm and MediaTek, as well as improve the yield rate of Samsung Foundry's 2nm fabrication process, SF2, on which the chipset is based. If the task force succeeds to solve the two concerns, Samsung will have no trouble pushing forward with the Exynos 2600 chipset for the Galaxy S26 series. Using an in-house built processor over the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite 2 will also save the corporation a lot of money. It's a different thing that folks won't be thrilled about it. Improving the yield rate of the 2nm production process would also lure third-party clients to it, such as AMD, Nvidia, or perhaps Apple. If it occurs, Samsung Foundry might finally wave adieu to its challenging times. Speaking about yield rates, according to the newspaper, its sources say that the yield rate of the Exynos 2600 and the 2nm manufacturing method is already better than that of the Exynos 2500 and the 3nm fabrication process. Reportedly, Samsung is eyeing its endeavor to increase the performance of Exynos SoCs and the yield rate of 2nm production process as a final opportunity to resurrect Exynos. It would be fascinating to watch whether Samsung's return to Exynos will impact the sales or not. Also, Samsung's next range of flagship smartphones, the Galaxy S26 series, is reported to employ a Qualcomm CPU. It will most likely be the successor of the Snapdragon 8 Elite, and it may debut as the Snapdragon 8 Elite 2. Although facts regarding the SoC are scant at the present, Qualcomm has revealed a new modem, the X85, which we may see in the Snapdragon 8 Elite 2. It offers us an insight about the 5G performance of the Galaxy S26. Qualcomm has released the X85 5G modem RF. On the 5G network, it delivers up to 12.5 GB per second download and 3.7 GB per second upload speeds. In contrast, the X85G modem RF that we see in the Snapdragon 8 Elite and Galaxy S25 series delivers 10 GB per second download and 3.5 GB per second upload rates. It implies that the Galaxy S26 will deliver 25% faster download and 5.8% faster upload speeds on the 5G network compared to the Galaxy S25. In addition to that, the modem incorporates AI-powered data traffic engine. Qualcomm claims this it delivers AI-enhanced dynamic gaming traffic prioritization, AI-enhanced OTT calling for clearer voice and video calls, and smooth Wi-Fi cellular transfer. With the Galaxy S25 series is still fresh on the market, the development of the Galaxy S26 range may be in early stages. While reports claim that it might contain a Qualcomm processor, it is also plausible that Samsung may power it with the Exynos 2600, at least in certain places. In that scenario, it may come with the Exynos modem 5400, which provides 14.79 GB per second download speed, or a newer version of it. Samsung's flagship phones have just amazing screens. This is one of the Galaxy's strengths, so we're going to see Samsung pulling out of it now. So even without early leaks to specify what we should count on, you can be comfortable that the Galaxy S26 and S26 Plus screens will be top-notch, top of the game. We predict a 6.1-inch AMOLED screen for the S26 and a 6.7-inch one for the S26 Plus. Just with the Galaxy S25, you can reliably look forward to vivid colors, amazing brightness, and superb viewing angles. Of course, it's now a norm for the phones to wear an adjustable 120Hz display refresh rate for smooth animations, scrolling, and transitions. It's about time for Samsung to bless Galaxy lovers with some additional battery. Competitors from Chinese companies are counting on new battery innovation, like silicon-carbon batteries, to cram enormous battery cells in their models without sacrificing on slimness or style. For example, the OnePlus 13, the Honor Magic 6 Pro, and others, and they'll become more in 2025. Samsung is reported to be working on its own take, stacked batteries, which would likewise allow for greater batteries in the same physical area. However, it's crucial to realize that speculations regarding Samsung's battery stacking have been going on for quite some time now, so we best keep our expectations in check. Nevertheless, it's about time, I'd say. Another, much more intriguing speculation is that Samsung may debut silicon-carbon batteries with the Galaxy S26 series. If accurate, it may permit considerably larger batteries on the S26 and S26 Plus, such in the regions of 6,000 or even 7,000 milliamps. Hopefully, such rumor would play out, don't you think? Meanwhile, the S25 comes with a 4,000 milliamps battery, which is quite tiny compared to some of the aforementioned battery chumps. The larger brother, the S25 Plus, comes with a 4,900 milliamps battery pack. As for charging, the S25 offers 25-watt wired and 15-watt wireless, while the Plus has 45-watt wired and again 15-watt wireless. There are reports we may see 65-watt charging for the lineup, which would be very well welcomed. The S25 battery stats are in need of changes for Samsung's flagships of 2026 to be able to compete with the others. Thus, the reports concerning quicker charging and larger batteries are good. The South Korea-based corporation should definitely focus on new battery technologies in order to not be left behind by some of the Chinese pioneers. Samsung's Galaxy phones come with One UI, a proprietary skin on top of Android. The Galaxy S25 and S25 Plus come with the Android 15-based One UI 7. The Galaxy S26 series may arrive with One UI 8, which will be based on Android 16. A recent One UI 8 leak has previously hinted that you may be able to select your measuring system without changing your language, but that's about all we know so far. Meanwhile, Android 16 is under testing now, and it's still being developed, tweaked, and worked on, to be formally published in the second part of this year. The OS update may provide us clues regarding what features we will see with the 2026 Galaxies. At the present, we don't know what the hardware advancements of the Galaxy S26 and S26 Plus will be. The two phones will presumably arrive with the next top CPU from Qualcomm. Ironically, we don't know what this chip will be named, since Qualcomm's CPUs have experienced quite the rebranding farce in the previous couple of years. It's also likely that some regional split may occur as with earlier Galaxy S models. US and elsewhere may have Qualcomm's processor, while Europe may get a Samsung-made Exynos 2600. Samsung's CPUs have traditionally performed a little inferior compared to Qualcomm's, but there are months for Samsung to potentially improve things in time for the S26 series. Probably, the Galaxy S26 phones will sport at least 12 gigs of RAM, since the additional RAM is essential for demanding AI activities or multitasking. As for speed, considering that those phones are the top of the top from Samsung, you can confidently bet on seamless and quick performance. Most probable they will do extraordinarily well with both simple activities like surfing and social media to more intensive jobs like gaming and generative AI. Meanwhile, Qualcomm introduced the X85 modem at MWC that might possibly handle connection on the Galaxy S26 series. The new modem will be more power efficient yet able to give faster 5G speeds. So that is all for today's video. Make sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more tech news and updates. Thanks for watching.